touched brilliantly on my nice little point there as well. I want to talk about part-time athletes. So we've already mentioned the demanding schedule you can have as a teacher, as a uni student, as a part-time athlete. I don't even know how I really want to try word this and say it, but what are the noticeable differences you have, as you just sort of touched on there with your teammates? What are the notable differences you can have as a part-time athlete? Like, is there any things that you just stand out that just go, I'm hampered, and not hampered, but I'm sort of, my hands are semi-tied because of this aspect of my life?
Yeah, I mean, I remember throughout the season last season, I was missing training sessions because I had periods evening.
Yeah.
I know, and obviously there's nothing I can do about it. It's part of my job as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously my coaches were great in understanding that. But then it's like, how can maybe what happens if I start that weekend and someone who's been there at all 3 sessions or how many sessions? Well, Ellis wasn't there that day. So one of them where it's like, what do you do? I have to go and do parents' evening. I can't not do that. And then also, you know, I teach Monday to Friday. Sometimes we'd have midweek games on a Wednesday. And I remember just before Christmas, we were playing Hearts at Tynecastle. And someone else on my team, Colette Kavanagh, she is a teacher, but she's trying to go and play professionally this season now. And I think that was probably the worst game we'd both ever played in our lives. We couldn't take a touch, couldn't pass. we were trying so hard, but just nothing would go right. Thankfully we won the game, but we were horrendous. And when it got to the end of the game, we were just like, we are done. Like, we need this term to end. We need a break from football. We're just mentally and physically done, because the teaching, like, it's the slog of the year from October to December. You know, you don't have. I know teachers have loads of holidays, but you don't have a holiday between them.
You can't take a long weekend when you need it.
No, you can't take it when you maybe need it. You can't take a day off if you maybe need it. But I just remember that game, and we generally just turned to each other at the end of the game, just started laughing, like, oh, you know, we've won.
What can you do?
Thank God, but what can we do? And our coaches were like, what was going on? And we were like, you know what, we're just absolutely knackered. So sorry, guys. But it is hard balancing it all. Trying to fit in, you know, that session that you missed, or fit in gym sessions throughout your week that you might not get to because your training starts at 4, but I don't finish school till 3:30, so I need to do it myself at a different time, for example.
And you physically just can't be in 2 places at once.
Exactly.
Has it ever worked almost for you, as in, so the way I was imagining this in my head when I was constructing this question is, in my mind, if I knew I was missing a session, like you said, if you're still fighting for a place in the starting team, but there's somebody that's been there for 3 sessions and you've made 2, sometimes even only 1, if just the way things have fallen. Has it ever worked with you, as in, my coaches know when I'm here, like, I'm not doing the 75% stopping just before the line to cut corners thing. You're like, I'm going 110% because I know this could be the only session I've got this week.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like regardless, whenever I step onto the pitch, I'll always give my all. Like, I'll do 110% to make sure that I've done everything I can to be in that starting 11 at the weekend. And I know, you know, sometimes you have a horrific night, but if they can't fault your effort, then that's the main thing. And then also, if I am missing a session, I'll ensure I'm asking our strength and conditioning coach, what session should I do to make up for the session that I've missed, sort of thing.
Well, that's all I could ask from a teammate or a player, is that if there's nothing worse when, I mean, a lot of the listeners will resonate with this because we all play for different teams, not to the same level as yourself, but we all play in various things where we play fives, and there's nothing worse when somebody turns up and you're like, it's clear as day, this guy does not want to be here, or this girl does not want to be here. So you might as well just head home. So when somebody is there giving it 110, I think that almost speaks volumes in a player that's just, like, quote unquote better than others. I know there's different positions and you can't really determine who's the best football player because Cristiano Ronaldo in goals is probably a bit shit. But
no, I know. But I also think sometimes if if you say personally, I turn up and I'm just in a stinker of a mood, I've had an awful day,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just don't want to be there. But I know if I just try, then that can help that person, or I see someone else trying, that can just spur me on to try that a little bit harder as well. Because we all have bad days, we all have bad nights. It's just you control your effort. You can't control everything else, but that's what that's a variable you can control.
I like that. I'm gonna. That's a quote. There's weird parts of my podcast that stick with me, but it's when somebody goes, "You can control your effort," and that's pretty much it. I really like that, and I think a lot of people should take that on. Is there's one thing you control, and that's your effort. And coming on nicely, because that's a very moral bit. The next thing we're going to talk about is you being a teacher, because that follows on the part-time athlete. That's the other